Tune in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
The official confirmation came from the president on the White House website. Since Congress hasn't passed an immigration bill, he'll bypass them with his own plan and detail it in an address to the nation.
And so what I'm going to be laying out is the things that I can do with my lawful authority as president to make the system work better.
There is something fundamentally unfair about a government that takes away so much of people's money, power, and personal control while telling them that life will be better as a result. That's a quote, and those are the words of our next guest, and they fit perfectly in light of what voters said at the midterm elections and what President Obama is scheduled to deliver tonight with executive action on immigration. It's a pleasure to welcome to MidPoint the chairman of Forbes Media, former two-time presidential candidate, author of the latest book, Money, How the Destruction of the Dollar Threatens the Global Economy and What We Can Do About It. Steve Forbes joins us. Mr. Forbes, thanks so much for being here.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
I need to tell also, too, that you answer your own phone, which shocked a lot of people. They said, Steve Forbes answers his own phone? There you go. That shows a man who knows his business, knows how to work his company, too. Mr. Forbes, let me ask you this regarding the president and what he is saying and what he is going to do. There are those who say, quite frankly, that this is potentially the most lawless and dangerous president in our time simply because of the actions that he takes without one consideration of what the American people want. Would you agree with that assertion?
Well, it's not just what the American people want. The way he's going about it is absolutely unconstitutional. We don't have a monarchy here. He wants to make the presidency, it seems, into a 4-year monarchy. You get to do what you want. If Congress doesn't do what you want, then you go do it anyway, like Louis XIV, issue an edict. So this is going to be a huge fight. And I think Congress should pass a resolution, certainly the Republicans, as soon as they get control, that says that the Constitution still reigns, the president is not a monarch, and you don't make law by decree, you do it through the legislative process. And there's a lot of other things they can do through the power of the purse, and Ted Cruz came up with a good idea yesterday, and that is no confirmations for government officials other than national security, public safety, and the like, until the president backs down.
What is it, in your opinion, that has emboldened this president to the point of taking these actions and basically, if you will, spitting in the face of Republicans and anybody who disagrees with him?
Well, he's been doing this for a while. You've seen the EPA make law, their war against coal. They try to do it with appointments to the National Labor Relations Board. So this has been part of a pattern, which is why Speaker Boehner several months ago filed a lawsuit against the president for his unconstitutional actions. So this is part of a pattern. This is, of course, the biggest one yet. I think he's doing it because he realizes he took a shellacking with these elections, and therefore he figures if he arouses the Republicans, baits the Republicans, generates a big fight, therefore he can recover and take the initiative again. I think he's misreading the American people. They were shocked by what happened this summer with kids crossing the border like that. And I think he's misjudged the mood, and I think he's going to be slapped down.
You used an interesting word in there, the word baits, if you will. That comes down to the next possibility here. In your assertion, in your estimation, is the president here and others involved with him just baiting the Republicans at this time, just hoping that they do something foolish and knowing that even if they do what they expect of them, that the American public, they hope, will backlash and blame the Republicans as the president has done?
I think so. He was a community organizer, remember, once upon a time, which means arousing conflict, stoking conflict. That's all he seems to know how to do, my way or the highway. And I think Republicans know that what he wants to do, and that's why I think they're coming up, will come up with some very good proposals, including, I think, passing some immigration reform, like removing or raising the caps on H-1B visas for high-tech workers. We want reform, sensible reform, but we believe it should be done in a lawful, constitutional way, not like we're an old line monarchy.
I've got about 30 seconds, and we'll take a break and come back. But do you think that the Republicans right now, the ones who are there in power, have the spine to take this president on?
If they don't, they'll be finding new lines of work. I think the American people will push them. The party base will push them. The new members will push them. So I think the answer is it'll be very different than what they'd have done 2 years ago. Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Forbes, please hang on. Short break. We are back with Steve Forbes. We will plumb the depths of where the Republican Party is going, not just in response to what the president says this evening regarding executive action, but where they go from here to 2016 and where they need to go in order to avoid some of those Democratic traps. And at 34 minutes after the hour, you will search how Firefox wants you to search, or else, or so they hope. One slice of news from the Money Master and a check on Wall Street. It's all coming up right here on MidPoint, where we question everything.